The news continues in West Africa, where a major Senegalese civil society collective says it is joining forces with the opposition to ensure the presidential election is held before April 2, when President Macky Sall's mandate runs out. The West African country plunged into its worst turmoil in decades after Sall's last-minute deferral of the presidential election that was due to take place last Sunday. The Aar Sunu Election Collective said it was joining with a group of 16 of the 19 candidates approved by the Constitutional Council to stand in the presidential poll. It is also uniting with the opposition coalition F24 and the Front for the Defense of Democracy. Now, to discuss this, we're joined by Kopep Dabugat, African Affairs Analyst. Thank you so much for joining us on the news.
Thanks for having me, Lekon.
So what's your assessment of the level of unity and cohesion among the various opposition parties and civil society groups in Senegal with the presidential election in lieu?
Well, I would say there is a very serious divide within the Senegalese political space. We've seen a national dialogue taking off earlier this week and coming to an end. But to our greatest surprise, none of the opposition, figures, opposition candidates attended the national dialogue. That speaks a lot of volumes, even though decisions have been made for the elections to be moved to June 2nd. To be held on June 2nd, and then also for the Constitutional Court to also designate the successor for President Macky Sall. So it's a very hot head we're treading on now in Senegal, where the opposition, along with some major civil society networks and movements in Senegal, are on one side, while the government is on the other side doing its own thing. One side is rejecting the move to hold elections in June and insisting that the elections have to hold between now and the 2nd of April, when the presidential term is supposed to come to an end. While on the other hand, the government is now having a new plan to hold elections on June 2nd. So these are mutually irreconcilable positions. How that would be managed, I think, requires a lot more thought and a lot more effort from the international community.
So that means now that even the Aar Sunu Election Collective is saying that it will play an influential role in the outcome of the presidential election. With these differences in dispositions to the election, they might not be able to cause an upset. Is that what this is tantamounting to mean?
Well, I wouldn't want to predict what will happen, but I know for sure that the social movements and the civil society organizations in West Africa are speaking for the people, even though, of course, there are several other leaders that are calling for caution and perhaps some more dialogue, some more meaningful, balanced dialogue. But for now, we see a position whereby two strong forces are miles apart. The people versus the government side. And we hope that the Senegalese people will be able to find common ground very soon, because this is a potentially escalating situation.
But I'm just tempted to ask, is there any significance to the dates that should be apportioned or slated for the presidential election? Because if some people are saying it should be held before April, some are saying it should be June, some are saying it should be December. Is there any significance to the actual dates to the presidential election? Of
course, there is a significance. Why? Because for over, I would say, 3 decades now, the dates of the handing over of the president has never changed from 2nd of April. So this change is unprecedented, given that initially, in fact, it was couched within a move to extend the president's tenure. Or so, it appears to the people, of course. And then, of course, now there is no reason to say you're pushing the elections beyond now till June or till December. There's just absolutely no reason. All the preparations were made. The political parties have indicated their readiness to go into the elections. And I would want to assume that the election management body never really came up to say they are facing any challenges of conducting the elections. It's just the president who single-handedly feels that the elections should not hold. So there's no justification for it. But the people, I think the will of the people should
prevail.
Be taken serious.
Okay. Kopeb Dabogad, it was nice talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well. Welcome.